There are two kinds of enemies: external enemy, internal enemy. Thieves, bully, enemy country are some examples of external enemy. They are outside our control. However, they awaken our internal enemies, which are often hidden from us. Internal enemies can be classified into desire, anger, greed, delusion, pride, envy. The internal enemies are always present within us in unmanifested form. Only when an external enemy challenges us, we get to know what exactly our hidden enemy is. So the first reason you need an enemy is self-knowledge. Are you prone to anger? Do you enjoy when people give you praises? Do you envy your friends who manage to earn more money than you? Only when there is an enemy, you will know your true nature. Let's see Carl with our God's eye. He graduates college, ready to work in Fortune 500 company as a software engineer. However, his boss turns out to be a devil, doesn't do his work, blames team member for his own mistakes, and is disrespectful towards others. Soon, Carl loses his calm and energy. He gets angry all the time, even when his boss is not present, remains anxious and stressed. This is the second reason you need enemy. They reveal your weakness. Carl doesn't give up. He doesn't want to live like this. After much thought, he decides to tame his weakness, anger. He arrives at two solutions. Mindfully practice being more calm, or shift boss's frustration to the newcomer joining in a week. Carl doesn't like the second idea at all. Yet the devilish charm lies in its nature of its immediate, certain solution. The cost is being scumbag, which other than Carl, no one will really care. Carl is in a tight spot. This is the third reason you need to have opposition in life. It forces you to a point where a decision will really show your true values in most raw form. Carl has a hard decision to make, possibly the most important one yet. After much thought, Carl decides to go with the good way. He was not the one to lie to himself and live life in regret. Practicing calm has one huge advantage, that it solves the problem at root. No matter what the situation, Carl will be less prone to anger. So starts practicing being calm. Whenever his boss gets on his nerve, he mindfully controls his rage. It's not easy, but he needs to do this in order to live happily and without being anxious. Finally, after 4 months of practice, he hardly ever loses control of himself due to rage. He challenged himself, practiced daily, and overcame his weakness. This is the fourth reason you need enemy: to challenge yourself and train your mind. If enemy was not present, Carl would have never practiced being calm. His weakness, which is prone to anger, would be waiting to erupt. Only when his enemy exploited his nature, the weakness manifested. Carl thinks about the flow of events and realizes his external enemy is what led to him becoming aware of his own limits and overcoming it. He was calm, but not calm enough. External enemy led to internal enemy rising. To fight anger, Carl practiced calmness. Finally, he overcame his weakness. Thus, the fifth reason is seeing your own limits and boundaries. Let's recap the reasons on why we need enemies. They help us to know our own nature. Enemies show us our weakness. They bring us to a point where we are forced to choose our values, challenge us to grow ourselves to excellence, see our own limits, and overcoming them. Therefore, having enemies is a good thing to have.